You are listening to Let's Talk About It, sponsored by the #1 broadcasting network on the net. And that's Spreaker, that's Spreaker, that's Spreaker, that's .com.
Separates us is what we've been taught to believe. But don't you be deceived. Oh yeah, we are one. We are one. We are one.
If there is anyone out there who still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, who still wonders if the dream of our founders is alive in our time, who still questions the power of our democracy, tonight is your answer.
You're asking today, how long will it take? Somebody's asking, how long will prejudice blind the visions of men? I come to say to you this afternoon, however difficult the moment, however frustrating the hour, it will not be long, because truth crusher will rise again. How long? Not long. Because no lie can live forever. How long? Not long. Because you shall reap what you sow. How long? Not long. Truth forever on the scaffold, wrong forever on the throne. Yes, that scaffold sways the future. Behind the dim unknown standeth God within the shadow, keeping watch above his own. How long? Not long. Because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. How long? Not long. Because mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He's trampling out the village where the grapes of wrath are stored. He's loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call retreat. He is sifting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. Our God is marching on. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah.
Oh, yes, indeed. Hello, everybody. Hello, Facebook. Hello, Google. Hello, Twitter. My Spreaker.com family and internet listeners all around the world. Welcome. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and joining me to talk about it and always helping to keep you informed is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert. Jackie, are you there? The crowd is screaming for you.
I am right here and ready to talk.
Oh, yes, indeed. And joining Jackie and Jackie and me.
Thank you.
Sorry, I apologize. You know, Jackie rides me like her grandmother. Jesus Christ. You can't break a verb in our family. You know, the verbs I break now, it's all for fun. But you couldn't break verbs in our family. My mama would pop you in the mouth. What did you say? You know, I seen, that's not allowed. And where y'all got it from and gotten to carrying on about it. And it's just, I mean, I seen you walk across the room. Okay, never mind. Let's go. Joining Jackie and me to talk about it and always helping to keep me and Jackie informed and you two is the professor of the blues himself and our partner right here at the round table and the professor at the University of Montreal is my good friend and partner and cyberspace husband, Walter Dubille. Walter, are you there?
I am here. Good afternoon, Brenda, and good afternoon, Jackie.
Yes. It's kind of a little different atmosphere when the show is in the afternoon instead of at night. I don't know what it is, but I just feel different. I feel so much excitement. Well, that's probably because I'm getting ready to talk about it and dog somebody out. And I'm so glad to be back. Last week was our first week back, and I was delighted, but we missed the show and we had to do it at 3:00 in the afternoon the next day. And here we are again. So you might be seeing us at 3:00 in the afternoon quite a bit. Who knows? But what we do promise is to get this show out to you every week. Because
Yeah, well, Brenda,
what?
I really like this time. It's a good time for me.
Yeah, I know. And since you like the time, and I like the time, and since Walt don't give a damn about the time, I think we and Barry Jackson, who's coming up, KKFIFM's Funk Master out of Kansas City, Missouri, also one of our roundtable members, and will help us talk about it. Won't pull no punches, but Barry's the militant one of the group. I'm telling you, we just got Barry back on Facebook. He got he got a timeout. Barry got a timeout on Facebook for going at it with his crazy ass God, country, freedom people. And to my conservative friend, whom I call no names, I want to tell you I love you, and God loves you too. I love my family, and I love my God, and I love my country too. Y'all ain't got no market on that. But Jackie, we often ask when the question is posed to us or when the statement is made, take our country back, make it great again. What's our question, Jackie? Always. Take it back from whom?
Yes.
And what's the answer? Always. The niggas.
Yeah. Not only take it back from whom, take it back to what?
Take it back to what? And make it great again how? Like Bush had it? Yeah. Y'all just...
Trump, he wants to redo that horrible thing they did back in the 50s, Operation Wetback.
Yes.
Where they rounded folks up and so that's what they want to do.
And they get so excited every time he cheers, and then they'll try to talk to you real nice like and say, you don't believe he's racist, do you? No, I don't believe it. I know it.
Well, Brenda, listen, it could be that there are just different the definitions. I think that it would help our political discourse quite a bit if we would define what we mean by certain words.
Jackie, okay. I think you have it. Our definitions, ours and theirs. Yes.
So if we could all come to the same definition of stuff, it would probably help a lot. I mean, what do you think about that, Walt?
Yeah, I agree with you, but the craziness, you and I were talking about this yesterday, the craziness has been out there for a long time. It's just got a little different form.
So, Jackie, what are you saying? We gon' just puck Webster.
I'm sorry, say that again,
We
please?
just gonna puck Webster. And we got to come up. We got to come up.
No, what I'm saying is that if we each define our terms, we can determine whether we're talking about the same thing or not. I mean, we believe in Webster. Mr. Webster.
I was about to say, but Webster already explained it to us. So what you saying, we got to puck Webster and we got to talk to the low information voters a little bit different and explain it to them in Lucy terms.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we need to understand what they mean when they say certain things.
Okay.
And we have to tell them what we mean when we say certain things.
Okay.
And so once we get that done, like for instance, if we say that someone is racist, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if we say that someone is a white supremacist or a white nationalist,
yes.
What we mean is that these people want to disenfranchise everybody who isn't like them.
Yes.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
They mean something totally different. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what it is that they mean. Okay?
But you
I wish I could explain it to you, but I can't get inside those people's heads, right?
Yeah, but you think that if we tell them
mm-hmm.
for the 1 trillionth time,
mm-hmm.
that they might get it?
No.
Not to say. What Mama used to say, what's going to better it? What's going to help them to get it, Jackie? That Mama used to break that one, Jackie. Now, that was one she broke off of it. What's going to better it? You know, when little kids used to tell her, you better get out of my face. My mama would say, what's going to better it? What's going to make me get out your face? Okay. All right. So before we get started with tonight's topic, which is FLINT. FLINT. FLINT.
And that's a really good example of what, what we see as racist and what other people see as something else.
Yeah. So, so before we get started with our topics tonight, and let me give a shout out to Governor Leadhead.
Oh, that's a good one, B.
I've forgotten his name, Jackie. I just sit here and look at him and call him Leadhead.
It's Schneider.
Oh, okay. I don't know who been drinking this water, but okay, wait. Before I get started with that, let me give a shout out and a big thank you to the singer, the songwriter, the producer of our theme song, We Are One, the fantabulous Brenda Lee Ager, the big famous sidekick to Jerry Lee Butler back in the 70s and 80s. That is our friend, our buddy, our pal, and we cherished this song because we believe in it, that we are one. There's no making the country great again. As Jackie said to you, to us last week, as I said, our country has always been great, and it still is great, and it's always going to be great. And Jackie said, I have one thing to say to that, one word, Rome. But apparently, they don't ever feel the country's great, Jackie, unless a white man is in charge, because niggas can't run shit. That's what they believe.
That's right. That's where all this stuff comes from.
Yeah.
Is that the belief that niggas can't run their own business.
Can't do it.
But what I love best about that whole thing, that whole attitude, is that, whenever a white person is corrupt or incompetent, right? That's something that doesn't seem to apply to every white person in the world ever born, right?
Right.
That is that white person who is corrupt and or incompetent.
That's right.
But if a black person is corrupt and or incompetent, it means all black people everywhere.
That's right.
Are corrupt and incompetent.
In their little pistachio mask.
Yeah. And that is what absolutely floors me about racist sentiment. White people can be individuals in themselves.
Yes.
And if you are, say, you're an armed militiaman, or if you are a KKK person, or if you are, a mass murderer or a serial killer, that doesn't apply to every white person in the world. That just applies to you.
Yeah, just you. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but if a black person, if one black person, say, sells drugs on the street, they all drug
They
dealers,
all,
you know.
and Jackie, I've met some conservatives, especially since I moved to Arkansas, and I have had to say to each and every one of them, all white men aren't serial killers and rapists.
Yes.
All Muslims aren't terrorists. And all niggas ain't thugs.
Yeah.
And they ain't all ghetto.
Yeah, but that's also a sign of intellectual laziness.
Yes, it is, Jackie. Do you know, today, Jackie, I was on Facebook and I saw my friend. He put up, Hillary Clinton been busted about Benghazi. I couldn't help but laugh. And of course, I had to write, there's no there, people, let it go. She been busted. She been caught lying. And they got her. She supposed to be in jail.
Yeah.
Y'all, if all the powerful Republicans, the Koch brother money, don't you think if white folk could have figured out how to put Hillary Clinton in jail, she'd have been in jail? Because y'all figured out how to poison the whole fucking city?
Oh, yeah, she would have been in jail a long
She would have been in
ago.
jail.
I think that Governor Leadhead
Yeah.
deserves a jail sentence.
Yes, now that's who needs to be in jail.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure he wasn't drinking some of the water. Jackie, have you noticed that Governor Leadhead, a.k.a. Snyder, he's watching a lot of TV, but you know that's where they get their news from. And if they watch Fox, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's where we get this stuff from. I promise you, people, you know, the study that was done, and we talked about this, and I used to have all the facts. The study that was done at this university, and if either you or Walt remember the university, Jackie, please give us the name, because we just don't like to gossip on this show like Donald Trump. They say. We don't like to.
I like gossip sometimes.
Well, they say the survey that was done, and it was done. Watching Fox makes you stupid. I can't remember whether it was Brown University. Okay, you two, one of y'all are available. Look up on the internet, Google that, and find out which university did this study. And they found out that they're just not living in the same world as us. And the
Brenda,
bullshit.
may I just please interject something here?
Yes.
I like to err on the side of caution, right?
Yes.
The study did not say, everybody, that watching Fox makes you stupid.
That's right, because you watch Fox, but you have to watch it to get your facts of who said shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But it just said that people who watch Fox are the most uninformed people.
Yeah. And
okay.
And see
when I guess that could be, if you stretch it out, that could be stupid, but I just prefer ignorant.
Yeah, that ain't what they said. They said it makes you stupid.
Said, sweetie, they make their own reality.
Yeah, it said that watching it'll make you stupid if you watch it long enough. And we have attorneys and shit that I know that watch this stuff, and they will recite it as gospel. And so I'm just saying, they haven't let it go. They over there right now teaching folks, and the talk show hosts like Glenn Beck and Alex Jones. You know, these are some of the people that the what do they call them, Jackie? The conspiracy theorists. Yes. These are some of the people who put out this shit as gospel, and then they got their websites that put out this shit as gospel, and lie, and folks that just seem not to understand or know any better or get it, repost this shit, and I mean, it's a real indoctrination going on in their minds, Jackie, because they
Well,
still
Brenda,
believe.
you were asking us to Google this stuff, okay?
Yeah.
About Fox News, and it's not just one study, okay, sweetie?
Oh.
I just put in my Google search, watching Fox News makes you less informed. And 1.7 million results came up.
I know the host is not supposed to scream out laughing like that, but Jackie and Walt have a way of doing that.
Those studies weren't done at places like Liberty University.
No, they weren't.
They were not. But the reporting agencies on these things, I've got Business Insider, Inquisitor.com, Forums, Alternet. An Alternet is, I know, is a real left-wing kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, they pretty much stick to the facts. We've got Huffington Post and, many others, but we have articles dating back, to 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And one of my favorites is people who don't watch news are better informed than people who do watch Fox News.
Yeah, God's
so that is, if you do not consume any news at all, okay,
Jesus,
you are better informed than if you
watch Fox.
News.
And I don't know what to say to them, Jackie. They really they have these thoughts in their heads that I hate queers and they better stay away from me, and I'll what the Bible said kill them. Really?
Yeah, Jackie, I like that study because I don't watch the news either.
but you will read.
What's the point? A, you got Fox, but B, what's the point of watching ABC or NBC? Like when you've got in a half an hour, maybe 3 minutes of news, and the rest of it is Hollywood gossip and ads for various drugs.
Okay, but while you will read a whole book, and you'll get, and you're saying, you don't have a pistachio brain, so. You ain't got what's the new skeeter virus? and that's nothing to laugh about. But these people really, they don't have, I was talking to one of my conservative friends, and I said to him I said something about Bonnie Raitt. Now he's a guitar player in a country western band. And he said, I don't know. He said, I don't know nothing about no Bonnie Raitt. I said, you don't know Bonnie Raitt? You don't know Bonnie Raitt? I said, one of the baddest white women on the planet. Grammy winner. I said, ask Loretta Lynn, ask Eric Clapton, ask Dolly Parton. Bonnie Raitt is celebrated all over the world. I don't know, and I don't want to know nothing about her.
Oh.
I said, well, let me just play you one of her songs. I don't like it. I said, but you said you don't know her, so you never heard her music. And I know I won't like it. Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. Jackie, when you come up against something or someone like that, there is no need.
Oh, absolutely not.
There is no need.
Well, the problem is, you've always had this kind of stuff, right? But the problem is now there's so much. First, it started off with television, and then it's the internet, and so there's all kinds of stuff out there. So people find.
Listen,
the
Donald Trump.
The type of things they're comfortable with, and they stay with that.
Donald Trump talks like these people, Jackie. He doesn't have any facts. I don't know of a book Donald Trump has read, and it sure ain't the Bible, folks. It sure ain't the Bible. Best book. I love the Bible. Next to the Art of the Deal, best book. He doesn't know shit about the Bible. And I promise you, he's never read it, or 2 Corinthians never would have walked through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows, if you had to go to church, Jack, as a little kid, that is 2 Corinthians.
Mm-hmm.
He did not know that because he doesn't go to church. And Lord, when that boy told him last night on Fox, I know you don't go to church. What do you mean? What do you mean I don't go to church?
Wait a minute. Told him what, Brenda?
Who did he have the interview with last night? The Fox.
Oh, Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly said, I know you don't go to church much, but He was trying to get him to forgive Fox and promised to come to the debate tonight. And Donald Trump said, "What do you mean? What do you mean? I do go to church too. Don't be telling people I don't go to church. I don't go a lot, but I go. I don't go." And now he's bringing out all this little petty shit. Jackie, this is not how Christians represent themselves.
Well, not only that,
under any circumstances, it's not how you choose a president. And for the people, but Donald Trump, he's a businessman, yeah, and he's forgotten about people. So I don't want a president that's such a businessman. People won't matter to him. And and I don't want a man who has failed at his own business at least 4 times and got the taxpayers to pay for it and has never given us a dime back while he lies that Barack Obama has done nothing but destroyed this country. No, say his name, Bush. Say his name. I'm gonna say it every week until y'all say his name. Say his name. That's who destroyed the country. We had a surplus when the last Democratic president left, which was Bill Clinton. George Bush came in and went through that and gave all his crony friends, and they started buying up guns and tanks and planes and shit. Lost $1 billion. Me and Jack are still in amazement about how do you put $1 billion in cash on a C-17 and fly to Iraq and you lose this money. You need at least 100 men to get that shit off the pallets. And it ain't going to be on one pallet.
Yeah.
And they lost it.
Speaking of billions of dollars, I thought that was interesting to read that Michael Bloomberg was willing to spend $1 billion to try to become president.
Yeah.
Michael Bloomberg needs to cut it out.
Jack, I thought you were going to say go somewhere and sit down.
That too. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
No, but I mean, it said in the article, and it was in one of the major papers, that he's essentially worth $79 billion. So for him, putting $1 billion.
What? They said he was worth $34 billion the other day. Nothing, see, that's what they said. See, that's why you have to be very careful. He's got $34 billion. That's why Trump won't spend any money though, because it is reported that he only has 3 or 4, and this would absolutely break him. And then he'd have to start fucking us again out of our tax-paying dollars. Because that's what he did to you. I told y'all last week, if you were here at the show, you know, he did it to us.
Well, it's interesting that Trump isn't going to the debate. I mean, I forgot that there was going to be another debate tonight, but
he doesn't want to go.
Some of these people are still around, and people in the undercard. Like Dan Thorman and Huckabee are still out there.
Well, wait a minute, Walt. Listen, I was just sitting here watching MSNBC today, and some man came out of the blue, a Republican, saying that I've been an attorney general and I've been this and I've been that, and I'm not worried about supporting Donald Trump. I'm going to be the next president. I said, who is that? He said, I've been a Republican all my life. And this is not how you, this is not what the Republican Party does, is separate people in groups and the Muslims from the blacks and call them out like that. This is not what the Republican Party do. So I don't have to worry, because the commentator asked them, would he support Donald Trump? And of course, you know, they all know they might have to give him head eventually. So they won't just,
oh my God, Brenda.
They won't just come out and say, no, well, see, folks that understand what I'm talking about. Folks just won't come out and say his Republican brethren, except maybe Lindsey Graham, and he already described his as killing himself, being shot or poisoned. But folks just won't come out and say they won't support him.
Just come right out and say I would never support him.
Yeah, they won't come out and say they won't support him. Well, welcome, Kids Talk Radio. I'm a Muslim. You are welcome here, my brother, my sister. But
well, it's interesting that you read these articles that are out there, and everybody's got some point of view, and they're all contradictory. And some of the people are saying, like, well, some Republicans might want Donald Trump to be the candidate because then, the party's going to tank and then all the lobbyists will be out there and then the right-wing guys can take it over. And then some other people will say, well, the right-wing guys are going to be essentially screwed out of this, and then the other people are going to take it over, so nobody really knows what the hell's going on.
Well, this guy said,
my thing
and I didn't know
in the Republican Party is simply like, this is like, who is it, Mary Shelley, Dr. Frankenstein's monster? They created this situation.
Mm-hmm.
They did, yeah.
They created the situation themselves, and now they are reaping what they have sown.
Yeah, he was standing up and he was telling, oh, Lord, who's the Muslims? Kid said, I don't love Trump. My eyes played tricks on me for a minute. I thought he said, I love Trump. And I was about to say, okay.
Well, maybe Trump should have just said, I don't want to do this debate because I don't want to be next to Ted Cruz and Jeb Bush anymore.
Welcome to the chat room, Kids Talk Radio and David Capers. Welcome, y'all.
No, but the other thing, though, about Trump is that I heard a very interesting theory yesterday. I don't believe that it's true, but it's just fun to talk about it. So since we're gossiping, because I did say, Brenda, didn't I say I like to gossip sometimes?
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
And we do. It's a little fun. Yeah.
What Trump is concerned about is that his ignorance will start to show. And I was thinking to myself, his ignorance has been showing. What are you talking about?
It showed from day one.
Yeah, where have you been? His ignorance will start to show.
Yeah, so Jackie, this host asked this man
out there for quite some time. Thank you very much.
This host asked this man here on MSNBC, could you support Trump if he's Trump's not gonna be? I'm gonna be the president. I said, who the fuck is he? Listen, girl, I have no idea who some of these people are. But he was mad as hell that Trump is ruining their brand, talking about Muslims and Mexicans and Negroes and.
But that has been. Walt, please tell her.
Tell him that's been their brand. The autopsy on the dead body still ain't working because dead folks don't respond to you. Okay, y'all did your autopsy. Autopsies can only be done on a dead body. Dead bodies don't respond. I ain't seen that yet, Jagger. They got up. I promise you. Look.
Well, at least the Trump has sort of made a star out of Megyn Kelly. Right?
Oh, I know, right? I mean, Megyn Kelly is like Fox's queen bee.
And she's from my hometown, right? She's from Syracuse and actually went to university, yeah.
But
and
Jackie,
then she went to Albany Law School, which is where my affiliate to the university my son works at. So she's one of our people from Central New York.
Oh,
you know something?
But Jackie, I thought her question. What did you say, Jackie?
Well, she's a star, Jackie. We're gossiping. You always want to be allies with the star.
Jackie, what did you say to Walt? What did you say to Walt, Jackie, about Megyn Kelly?
That he shouldn't be broadcasting that.
Listen, but Jackie, Walt, I really thought that her question to him was a legitimate one.
Yes.
You know what got him to hurting her and claiming that she wasn't fair? Jackie, all he had to do was answer the question. Yep. Instead of talking about blood coming out of her eyes and shit and her wherever. She recited to him some of his comments that had been made about women. And she said to him, do you think that this is a good strategy or idea, something along those lines, seeing as how Hillary Clinton is likely to be the Democratic presidential choice, and don't you think this kind of stuff is going to come back to bite you, and it won't look so good for women? That was a legitimate question.
Yes, a very legitimate question.
And he is mad as hell at her. And then, of course, they pulled out clips today where he had co-hosted a show or something with her on Fox and told her what a great reporter and what a great person she was. And, they're going to...
Brenda, I'm sure you have noticed that
It's so
none
funny.
of this stuff seems to stick to him. Well, not in
Nothing.
the Republican primary anyway.
That's right,
All right?
Jackie, because nobody is denying people that he has his low information voters. One was killed yesterday. What's that day before? Listen, Jackie.
Would you please stop skipping ahead?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking back
It's hard for people to follow us when you.
one of his low information voters was killed the other day in Oregon. Hey, listen, Jackie.
Again, I just can't.
Who was the man? One of them said
that I can't rein her in.
One of them said guns makes us serious, and I put up a post last night and said, yeah, and they'll get your balls shot off too. The feds had enough of that bullshit. And now what do they tell them, Jackie? Go home. Okay, we'll be talking about that a little bit later in the show.
Yeah,
okay, so
Brenda, you're giving us the Sarah Palin. Okay, you gotta stay.
I did. Did you see it? Did you? She almost stood up in the chair here, didn't she, Jackie? Now you see what makes me sane is that when Jackie points something out to me, or Walt or Barry, I might fire him for about a minute, but then I'll accept the truth. This is what y'all got to do, Republicans. Accept the truth. This is your baby, Donald Trump.
Yes.
And y'all got to rock him now.
That's right. I mean, they encouraged him.
They helped
him. And now look at him. And a lot of them are none too pleased about this person stuff that he's put on Ted Cruz. But it's like I said, it is just delicious. It's luscious.
Yeah. It could, Jackie, Jackie, when we chose our horses all those months ago, could we have ever imagined how delicious and good this race would get?
Really? Honestly, Brenda, no. Not this amazingly ridiculous. Because it was so bad the last time, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't think, I know that I did not think, that it could be much worse because it was so bad because, everybody was talking about the Republican clown car and blah, blah, blah. And that is the reason
18
why
of
the
them,
Republican Party.
18 of them were running, and oh my God.
No, and that's why this time the Republican Party decided to do the debates somewhat differently so that they would not be caught up in this mess again. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But it hasn't helped them at all.
Jackie, the mess is worse.
Yes, it's much worse than it was last time.
If you look at it when we started off, when people were talking about, Rick Perry and Ben Carson and all our guys out there being, in the public eye a little bit and having their chance, but all of a sudden Trump has got all the headlines, right?
Jackie,
he's stolen everything. He's, it's hard for these other guys. I mean, to get onto the front page.
But with Trump, he has a lot more experience in media manipulation and marketing.
Yeah, you have to give him credit for that. Actually, I mean, I think that people have the wrong idea about Trump in the sense that I have no idea what his political ideas are in terms of what he thinks he's ever going to do. But on the other hand, you have to give him credit for having gotten all the attention.
Oh yeah.
Listen, Jackie,
and he can certainly do that. He has more experience than the rest of these guys have in doing that.
Yeah, and he has absolutely no qualms about saying things that are absolutely contradictory or whatever. It doesn't make any difference.
I mean, Jackie.
Well, but the thing too about him saying contradictory things is simply that the people who support him, they don't care.
They don't
care, exactly.
Yeah, Jackie, that's it right there, because I didn't think that it could get any worse. After Mitt Romney walked out and tried to sing "America the Beautiful" after after Barack Obama sent "Let's Stay Together" sales turn them up 419%. And Mitt Romney thought that he would come out and sing "America the Beautiful." And look, when he said that 47% comment, they acted like he stabbed their babies. They were running from him. So, and Donald Trump has talked about killing all the Muslims and all the Mexicans and all the niggas, and he can't do shit wrong. He even talked about John McCain. He's a loser.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now he said he could walk down the street and he said he could walk into the square in New York and kill somebody and his fans gonna stay with him. Yeah, because they losers too. You right. Low information voters.
Yeah, but it almost doesn't matter what he says, right?
No,
the
that's
people
right.
who are with him are with him. It doesn't matter whether.
And that's why he said what he said. Well, that's why he said he could walk into
or whatever.
square.
They're just there because he's saying whatever. I mean, he could come out tomorrow and say, I don't know, we're going to sell Alaska or something. They wouldn't care.
Look, and while they love talking to him about when he talks about their guns. Jackie, I've had a Winchester 12 gauge pump shotgun for about 30 years because my husband bought it because somebody threatened to kill me. And he bought it for me, and I've never, ever, ever fired it. So I have a friend here who has a farm right up the street, and he had me over to his house Sunday to shoot my gun for the first time, and it was so much fun, and I hit 3 out of 4 of my targets. Little old thing.
With the big old pump shotgun, you better hit something. But I'm sorry.
Okay, and Barack Obama ain't took my gun yet, Jackie.
Yeah.
My Second Amendment.
He's going to take it though, Brenda.
Oh.
It's not what has actually happened. It's what you believe is going to happen.
He gonna take my gun.
Yeah, that's right. So,
and he gonna take my second.
He hasn't taken your gun yet. He is going to personally show up at your house and relieve you of your firearm. So you just get ready for that.
All I know is I'm never going to Arkansas. Brenda's got a gun.
Jackie,
he gets excited. You don't know what's going to happen, right?
He gonna take my. Okay, I want to say my friend, my conservative friend, my sweetie pie Deke is out there. I know you listening, and he is popping into my inbox on Facebook a video. Hillary Clinton is a liar. Deke, you think I'm gonna watch that and believe it? Okay, cause I love you. I'll watch it. But Deke, we trying to help you. Come on, boo. Come on over here. Come on.
Come into the light.
Come into the light. I love you. Remember what I said to y'all, my conservative friends. We can have sex. We can get along. We can love one another. Come on into the light. I'm going to get this blindness out of you. Jackie David Caper says, you are on a roll. Hey, listen, y'all. Walter, Jack, and I have ranted damn near 15 minutes overtime. Okay, so Jackie, we're going to take a short break. We're going to get Barricade Jackson on the line because I know he is sitting at home just squirming. And then, Jackie, we're coming back. And what are we going to talk about tonight?
Oh, are we actually going to get on to like our show schedule? Or
yeah, Jackie, we're going to start at the top. We're coming back and we're going to go down the line and we're going to stick with each one of our topics for the next hour and 15 minutes.
Are you sure, Brenda? Because
I promise.
I'm wondering.
I promise, and you're taking up the time, and
sure.
you're being insubordinate. Now, when Chris Matthews said we go into a commercial, he don't have no shit coming back from him in his ear that we ain't going.
All right. Well, what we're going to actually talk about, Brenda,
yes,
is we are going to talk about the Flint water crisis. Because we started talking about that, but we didn't actually talk about it because Brenda wanted to talk about Donald Trump. Okay. And so, since Donald Trump.
So he went first. I didn't mean for him to go first, but Jackie, we like to have a good laugh when we start the show, and we certainly can't laugh about Flint.
No, okay.
Okay, so that was a good start.
Actually, talk about the Flint water crisis.
Yeah, so can we flip
about
it?
This whole emergency manager thing that they have going on in the state of Michigan, okay?
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about the thing that you alluded to earlier about the Bundy boys, and what I put down here is that the Bundy boys did Oregon so well they were sent to jail.
Yeah, and one to the grave.
Yeah, and then the last thing that we're going to talk about, and this is going to be very briefly, is Stacey Dash. And the reason that Stacey Dash is on here is because last week one of the listeners asked us to talk about,
and we promised that we would.
Yeah, and I said I didn't want to, but I would.
Yeah, and Jackie, you know what? I appreciate that. And when I saw the schedule that you sent me, I said, must we? I mean, we got so much serious shit to talk about, and we got to talk about Stacey Dash. Now, I shared with y'all on Facebook, somebody, what do you call it, Jackie? A picture, when they distort, I mean, when they replace a face over face, a photoshopping, what do they call it?
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody put her face on the Aunt Jemima
that wasn't
from 1800 and something, and just, you know, I lost it when I saw it.
But you know, her
because Aunt Jemima is so much better than her.
Well, you know, but her own Stacey Dash's own cousin, Damon Dash. He's the guy who founded Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z, right? Damon Dash. Even her own cousin said that she was cooning for Fox News.
Hey, listen.
Now, that is her family.
Cooning for Fox News, Jack, and smoking that good. You are listening to, she's smoking that good, baby. You are listening to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, coming to you live from the Jewel of the Delta. And that is Forest City, Arkansas, baby, where we do it up and we do it right. It's 54 degrees here and clear. And Jackie and Walt have just turned it up to 154 degrees up in here because they are cray-cray. Okay, but joining me to talk about it and always helping to keep you informed, the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert. Joining Jackie and me, the professor of all professors, Walter Dubille out of Montreal, Canada, and the University of Montreal. And joining us in the next set will be none other than Barry K. Jackson, KKFI-FM's very own Funkmaster, Hellraiser, and timed out in Facebook, Barry Jackson will be here. Y'all stick and stay right here at the #1 broadcasting network on the net, and that's Spreaker.com. We love you, yeah, we do.
Okay, we will do. Oh shoot. Maybe we'll do them both. I don't know. Hey, we're in the middle of a revolution because I see the face of things to come. Yes, I do. Oh, your Constitution. Well, my friend, it's gonna have to bend. I'm here to tell you about the destruction of all the evil. It will have to end. It's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Struggle just to stay alive. foot off our back. It's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. What to do? What to do now? I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you now. Soon you'll know. Soon you'll know. It will be through. It's all gonna be all over. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 now. What do you see? What do you see now? 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. I've got my stick. I've got my stick now. Do your thing. Do your thing now. Whenever you can. Whenever you can. When you must. When you must now. Do take your stand. Take a stand. Well, all right. 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 Everything's gonna be all right. Well, all right. It's gonna be all right. Well, all right. All right. Well, all right. Hey, now. Well, all right. Hey, now. Well, all right.
You are listening to Let's Talk About It, sponsored by the #1 broadcasting network on the net. And that's Spreaker, that's Spreaker, that's Spreaker, that's .com. Yes, indeed. I'm back. I'm the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and you are listening to Let's Talk About It. And my conservative friend on Facebook is writing me, and he's making me laugh. Stop writing in my chat, baby. Stop it. He said, "What light, Jack?" Come into what light? We don't want to leave
The light,
anybody.
look, Brenda, it's the light of knowledge.
We don't want to leave anybody behind. And
That's right.
and we
Step
won't.
into the light of knowledge, darling.
Yeah, we won't. We won't. See, we could have spared that boy yesterday from getting his balls shot off if he'd have come to the light.
But
Okay,
Brenda, you
we
just
ain't.
keep skipping ahead.
No, I'm sorry, Jack. I
really
stopped
wanna talk
myself.
about FLINT.
I stopped myself right there. I had a Sarah Palin moment, just whoosh, and I said, "Oh." I said, "Stop right there, stop right there," because see, Jackie, the light came, the light went right over me, and I didn't go there. Okay, all right, then we'll save her for laughs. Okay, so now y'all, all the laughter stops except for when I call Governor Leadhead, because this is some serious shit. And I shared with y'all today on Let's Talk About It that a muskrat could have figured out this shit better than Governor Leadhead. Now Michigan really is in need of an emergency manager. They really are in need of emergency management because that piece of shit they got called the governor over there, Jack, in Michigan is a prototype for how they can get rid of niggas and po folks.
Yes, well, I think you should introduce Barry first, though.
Girl, sure enough. Thank you. See, they got. I took one look at.
Insubordinate. I know I'm insubordinate.
No. I won't fire you for that. That was good. But okay, y'all. So we did get on the line our co-host, our friend, our buddy, our pal, and we try to keep him from going with the Bundy boys because he is the militant one of the group. Timed out on Facebook. Who else in that Twitter block you yet? Yeah, y'all show you love for our friend at the round table, Barry. Barry K. Jackson. Hey there.
Miss Linda, I have 3.
Oh God, Barry, there are no jokes right now. We are going to Flint, and this is some serious shit. So that's your last outburst, okay? I'm going to give you a timeout. All right, y'all. So, Jackie, Flint. In the words of Nina Simone, not Mississippi, goddamn, but Flint. Governor Leadhead, goddamn. Jackie, what is he doing?
All right. Well, right now I'm looking at a column that was written by Amy Davidson of the New Yorker that is entitled "The Contempt That Poisons Flint's Water." And for those of you who don't follow the show or live under a rock or whatever it is, nearly 2 years ago, Flint, Michigan, which is predominantly black, was taken over by an emergency manager. And
for no
in Michigan,
emergency,
they have this emergency manager law where the governor can say that your municipality has failed and take away the power of the elected officials to make decisions on behalf of their communities. And he installs this emergency manager to get everything straight. Now, when Governor Snyder came into office, there was there was an emergency financial manager law on the books. And as a lot of you know, in some states, the school districts that are failing or something like that, the state takes them over. And I have to tell you guys honestly that I have not really seen any improvement in any of these places that have been taken over by the state.
No, and according to the people and the tweets and the photos, Jackie, there has been no improvement.
Yeah, but what the law was intended to do initially was to install an emergency financial manager to help these municipalities to get their finances in order. But the mayor and city council and all those people were not stripped of their authority by the state. Okay? They just came under some new rules. That's all. Okay? But when Governor Snyder came in, Governor Leadhead, they increased the powers in the legislation, in the statute, to make it a total dictatorial takeover, all right, of these municipalities. And I want to say before I get into what the New Yorker writer has said about this, Amy Davidson, what she has written about this, because I want to read just a little part of the first paragraph because it really explains it all. You know, I just wanted to let everybody know that as of today, approximately 60% of all the black people who live in Michigan live under a dictatorship. Okay? That this emergency manager law was put in place to take Benton Harbor, a community that's 92% African American, the Whirlpool plant where a lot of the people work, because Whirlpool, that makes washers and other kitchen appliances, they had a factory there where just about everybody worked. They closed the factory down, but they still have their headquarters there. But the jobs that a lot of the residents had are gone. And Benton Harbor is a very small community. They had a beautiful park that was right next to the lake. And the emergency manager came in and sold that park to Jack Nicholas and his development company. And they turned it into
Jack
a
Nicholas,
golf course.
the golfer.
It is a private golf course, private golf club now, where the residents have nothing to do with that. And I just recently learned the reason that it was so important for them to take these people's land and put in a golf course is because they intend to have the senior PGA tournament there. And that's going to happen this year or next year. Okay. So, but anyway, they've taken over Detroit. They have taken over almost all of the cities in Michigan where there is a majority black population. That right there should tell you something, because in communities that are not majority black who are having financial difficulties, they don't have emergency managers. Okay? And also I want to point out that the state exacerbated the financial difficulties that many municipalities were having anyway because of the way that they've done their tax cuts and their rainy days. I mean, they have just basically taken, like they have basically just emptied out communities that didn't have very much capital to begin with. They have just raked them.
Yes, and Jackie, all of this...
basically left them to die.
all of
Okay.
this management. Now, I know some of you conservatives who are listening to me will never understand this. All this management where they were going to save what, Jackie? Maybe $15 million by making these folks drink this river water.
Oh no, Brenda, it was like $1.5 million a year.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. I mean, we're not talking about
Okay, so they were going to say one and a
supposedly
half to 2 million a year, and now what are they asking for? It's going to take almost $800 million to fix this situation. And why is it?
I have heard between like 800 million and 1.5 billion.
Yes. So
I
why?
heard 1.5 billion.
So I've heard from they put out the number 789 million or something that they're asking for, but yeah, they don't know. They're just throwing something out there. Okay,
Right,
so
okay.
the mayor's conference. I'm sorry, Jackie.
Anyway,
you still
what
telling
has
us?
happened in Flint, Michigan, is that approximately 2 years ago, they changed the city water source from the same source where Detroit gets their water. They call it Detroit water, but it comes out of Lake Huron, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they took them off of that water source, and they put them on the Flint River water. They put them on Flint River water, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That was untreated.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand me?
Yes, I do,
and
Jackie.
They knew that water was toxic before they made that switch. Okay, and let me just read this to you, okay?
Okay.
Even before the drinking water in Flint, Michigan was found to be tainted with lead, before water from some areas tested at more than twice the level considered toxic waste, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And public health officials said that every last child in the city should be treated as if the child had been poisoned. The governor's office knew that the water was discolored, tasted bad, smelled strange, and was rife with, quote, organic matter, unquote.
Oh, my God.
They knew, as one memo sent to Governor Rick Snyder in February 2015 noted, that residents have attended meetings with jugs of brownish water. Officials figured that a reason it looked that way was the presence of rust.
Hold on, Jackie. Wait, Jackie. Barry, are you running water or out on the street or something?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Because we're getting some weird sounds.
Yeah, what is that?
I want to make sure you ain't on a bus or nothing again.
No.
Oh, there it goes again.
I had to come outdoors for something.
I knew you were doing something. There we go. It's Barry, the wind and the one. And okay, so you got to mute your phone then when you do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So mute it now because Jack is reading the story.
Great, you did. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, so there's two problems, right? First of all, there's just the water itself, and then the fact that whatever is in there reacts with the old lead pipes and right,
exactly,
and liberates the lead into the water supply that makes it worse, right?
Okay, Jackie, continue.
Because a lot of these municipalities, I just want to say, a lot of the older municipalities in the north and the northeast have, not really completed the changes in the water supply system and all that kind of stuff that you might think they have done, right?
Okay, Jackie, I'm sorry. Keep reading. I had to stop that noise.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I just wanted to read this part where, Governor Snyder received, just this one memo. He received more than that before February 2015. And it says that, the residents attended meetings with jugs of brownish water. And the officials figured that a reason it looked that way was the presence of rust. Nobody went to find out, okay? They just thought it all, okay? And they thought that was just fine, And they wished, in fact, that the residents would realize how good they had it when it came to the water's substance and stop complaining about its style. Okay, do you understand?
Yes, Jackie.
No, I don't understand that because that's too weird for me.
Yeah, but that's what they said.
Yeah, Jackie, that's the part we understand, what they said. Jackie, Michael Moore is absolutely on fire.
Yeah,
about this.
That's his hometown.
And I don't blame him. Hearing him and I'm sure millions of people watched as Rachel Maddow came live from there last night. They pleaded with Governor Leadhead to come to the school to be at the meeting. Michael Moore tells some details that's just amazing, Jackie. They've got one school nurse for the whole district of schools there. The schools are getting all of this lead and this filthy water and mold. Nothing is being repaired. So these folks that came in to manage for these niggas who had no comprehension of how to manage a dollar and fix a floor in a school. This guy has taken them from the skillet into the freaking fire for sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I want to just keep going. The city's water managers, unaccountably, did not have any anti-corrosion agents added to the water. And they did not check for corrosion issues in a way they ought to have for the city. Okay? By October 2014, General Motors announced that it would no longer use the water because it was corroding its equipment.
Mm-hmm. The motors in its cars.
October 2014, General Motors announced that. And yet, everything was just fine.
Keep on drinking it.
Yeah, just keep drinking it, bathe in it, this and that.
And that's when they made a poster, Jackie.
Children were breaking out in rashes and things.
But
the
yet
memos know that there are plenty of contaminants that the tests don't look for. And E. coli was a health hazard. And also, but that they use that as a proxy for aesthetic issues. The water, as dirty as that, might have other problems too. The state and city seem to have ignored that basic lessons of epidemiology they didn't seem to register until recently. For example, that there has also been a spike in cases of Legionnaire's disease in Flint.
And 10 people have
also
died.
Might have something to do with the water. And 10 people have died in that outbreak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Michael Moore is calling for him to be criminally indicted for murder.
He should be.
And listen, if ever I believe that there was genocide caused and deliberate, this is no different than Saddam Hussein gassing his own people. They just thought they'd do it a little bit on the down low and they could get away with it. These people were absolutely murdered and destroyed.
And the thing that amazes me, I saw some clips of Governor Leadhead this morning talking about how the city council and the leadership in Flint voted 7-1 to go to the Flint River water.
The leadership.
That is not true.
No, it's not true.
That's not true at all.
No, it's not true.
Because their city council members were replaced.
Yes.
By the emergency manager.
And now
all these people reported directly to him.
And now he's saying, Jackie, okay, so I had a few bad apples working for me and I fired them and okay, no, bitch, we don't know.
Yeah, and the thing is he's talking about releasing his emails, but he's not releasing, he's only releasing a small portion.
Of course,
of
who
his
the
emails.
Feck does he think he's fooling? This, I just talking about it, my blood pressure goes up. I get as mad as Michael Moore. This is unbelievable. And Jackie, he's saying he won't go. I'm not resigning. I'm going to tell you something. You're going. Whether you're going to jail or whether you're going to hell or where you go, but you're going. You're not going to be the governor of Michigan very long because no matter what you say, you cannot fool.
The other thing, too, is that the Republican Congress has decided to hold hearings on the Flint water issue. And I believe I'm sorry, and I believe that what they're trying to do is provide cover for Governor Snyder because they have not even invited him to come testify. And what Governor Snyder has been doing is blaming the, quote, bureaucrats, unquote, for this problem. We know what the problem is. All right? We know what the problem is. And I hope that the people there and Michael Moore, God bless him.
God
one
bless
of those
him.
people who just digs around until he finds
and when
he's looking for.
And look, Jackie, what was it? He can't do anything until he sees it on TV. He didn't do shit about this issue until Hillary Clinton said on Rachel Maddow's show last week, what is happening to the people in Flint? She just came off script and went off on Rachel's show. What is happening to the people in Flint is appalling. And Governor Leadhead should call for a state of emergency and ask the president for some money. And the next day, I think I'll ask the president for some money.
Well, Brenda, the thing about it is simply this, that have this not come to national attention, and I mean the people in Flint have been protesting and organizing and doing all kinds of things for nearly 2 years.
Jackie,
right?
you know, you're telling this story as you were reading. You know, I thought about your grandfather's only brother that's left, Uncle Stevie.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he has always been just this vibrant. He taught at the university in Flint there for years. He's always been this vibrant, very smart person. And I saw him 2 years ago at the family reunion, and he's shaking and he can't. And I'm starting to think, you know, he lives right there in Flint. Could this water have made Uncle Stevie just all of a sudden just go downhill?
Yeah.
Because he's in his 70s. He was retired, but he was still driving the Aubrey, and he was so smart, and now he just swiveled in the last 2 years into this old shaky man. And I'm sitting here as you're reading and saying, could that have been what happened to Uncle Stevie?
Well, Brenda, one of the residents, you know, because I've been watching these different interviews and so on, and this one woman said, these people have poisoned 3 generations in our community.
Yes. And Jackie,
and
it's
the thing
no
that
mistake.
concerns me the most about this is how Governor Snyder continues to duck and dodge. And, you know, are you going to replace the pipes, Governor? Well, you know, we has been doing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
they
you know,
have no intention. They have no intention. They sent the National Guard down there to distribute water that somebody else had bought.
And he sent 7 people. This is what the mayor said at the town meeting last night. She said it wasn't no National Guard. He sent 7 National Guardsmen there to distribute water, 7 of them. And then he went and stood around one of the spots. I said last night, as that woman walked by with her child, I would have spat in his face. I would have just spit on him and let him know how you coming out here now standing around. Is your family drinking this water and having to bathe in it? Hell no. This was a deliberate act. It was talked about, arranged, and decided and done. And they didn't believe that these niggas would ever figure out, and the poor white people, because it's the poor white people that are mad too, but it's predominantly black, y'all. That's why we say it like that. But they didn't think they'd ever figure it out.
You know, you look at the government and stuff. This is all back to that sort of conservative ideology that says, you know, the only thing that counts is money. You don't really care what happens to people. It's as simple as that, right?
Exactly.
Well, you know, one of the things that happened when I first became the CEO of medium-sized chamber of commerce out here in California. I was at a board meeting, and one of the board members was complaining about the city and the bureaucracy and so on and so forth. And he said that the city should be run like a business. And I told him that is not true.
It's not
because
true.
Businesses, the only thing that a business is supposed to do is make money, right? That's what we were taught in business school when I went a million years ago. As my daughter says, I was in college when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Right.
But what we were taught was that a business was a dynamic enterprise designed to maximize profit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is not what government is.
No, that's true. And the other thing is that's also the Anglo-Saxon version of what businesses are supposed to do, because in other countries, you know, businesses are held to a certain amount of social responsibility.
Yes.
And Jackie, when they say
at least a minimal amount, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And when they say,
it's important. I'm glad you brought up that part, you know, this aspect of it, because we have to bear in mind, Rick Snyder is the former CEO of Gateway Computers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And with all of these people that want people like a Donald Trump to be president because he's a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this serves as a warning, to the American people because, again, you say they're not concerned about the people; they're concerned about making money.
Right. And not just making money, Barry, but making money for certain people.
For certain,
thank
you.
Republicans talk about all the time about choosing winners and losers. They talk about that all the time, that government isn't supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
When that is all that they do. I mean, if you look at the governance of Michigan, of Kansas, of Oklahoma, of Texas, if you look at the governance of all of these places, the one thing that stands out is that all of the public services, public institutions have gone to hell under Republican leadership.
The country went to hell under Republican leadership, and they kept him there for 8 years. And I continue to say, because the Republicans don't want to talk about it, the conservatives don't, they just swear that we've gone to hell in a handbasket under Barack Obama. We had a surplus that a Democratic president, Bill Clinton, left us with. And George Bush went through that money and then helped out his cronies and his buddies, and
took us to war. Yes.
And took us to war, and the whole country has been devastated by that shit. And Barack Obama has come back and made things a little bit better, giving us health care. And this is just the worst thing you can do, to make sure that other people can go to the damn doctor like we can.
I just want to say, like what Jackie was saying. I mean, that's because people are looking at only the budget. For example, it's easy to make numbers come out what you want them to do. If you cut all kinds of services and stuff, you're not going to spend any money. Right?
That's right. Exactly. And don't forget,
communities.
Yeah, and if you cut taxes, who are you cutting the taxes for? Right, you're cutting them for the people at the top. So it's all
because they're not cutting them for us
in that particular way. So what happens in this way of thinking of the guy, the governor of Michigan and stuff, is just exactly what you said. Right?
Yeah, well, and the other thing, too, when Brenda started talking about health care, I want to let you guys know something that Governor Snyder proposed yesterday after he met with the mayor of Flint, okay? And this is going to blow your freaking mind, okay? You know, Michigan is one of those states that would not expand Medicaid in their state, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what Governor Snyder wants now is for the federal government to step in and provide the Medicaid expansion to Flint only.
Stop
now,
it. Why?
Well, hold on now. Everybody, please explain to me why, well, the Medicaid expansion will be good for Flint, but not for the rest of the state.
Ask John Cusick that.
And of course, the Medicaid expansion is something that's so bad, but if it's so bad, then why in this situation is it acceptable?
Ask John Cusick that. Thank God we had a Democratic governor when Obamacare came along, because Arkansas has it. And listen, these white folks will get a pitchfork on your ass if you talk about taking it now. Yeah. And I'm in a red state.
But too, Jackie and I were talking about this yesterday. You know, when you look at a city like Flint, I want to go back to this northern, the old industrial cities, because when you read some of the reporting on there, I mean, they had, what I read in the Washington Post was that the police, the big police station in Flint, Michigan, closes down on the weekends. You don't even have cops.
Okay.
And that, I don't know if the Washington Post reporter is correct in saying this, but there's no big grocery store that's even open in Flint anymore.
That's
wasn't that the most amazing thing?
That was something that was brought up during the town hall last
year. I was amazed by that. I wanted them to explain that. No grocery store. What are they saying? And then Michael Moore came on to Lawrence, and he explained it more in detail. He said there are little stop shops, but there are no grocery stores where you can even get, the supplies, the healthy stuff.
Well, I can tell you about that, because even the city I grew up in, the part of the city of Syracuse that I grew up in, there was only one large grocery store. It's the part of the city that's become a lot poorer and a lot more immigrants and Hispanics and blacks and so on. There is one large grocery store, and the people who owned it, the chain who owned it, decided they were going to close it down because it wasn't profitable. And that meant there was nothing left except corner stores. If you lived in that area, you would probably have to go 2-3 miles to find a supermarket, right? And finally, another company came in and reopened the store, but there is only one. The rest of it is all corner stores.
Jackie, it's the most amazing thing to me when I heard that there's no grocery store in Flint. We're talking a community of 100,000 people. I live in a community of about 15, 20,000 people. And we've got Subway, Pizza Hut, Walmart, Food Giant, Save a Lot. We've got grocery stores everywhere. What the hell are they talking about?
Well, because the supermarkets will tell you that they don't think it's profitable.
Well, everybody's got, but selling them bad water.
What's happening in Flint, though? They don't have a grocery store there, but just the contamination of the water has got to, has affected the other businesses.
Absolutely,
they can't cook. I said, what are they trying to?
People are afraid to. There was something about a beauty shop there. The women are afraid to go there and have their hair done because you've got to have your hair shampooed, but not when you have water.
Right? Yeah. Some salons.
The other thing, obviously, when there's no supermarkets and things like that, what happens is you have little corner stores, and then the people who live in those areas aren't particularly rich, and so the price of everything goes up. The cost of living is higher for them.
Yeah, well, it's like going to a 7-Eleven, and you're not going to get lettuce.
Well, and not only that, you have to be concerned about the quality of that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you listen, y'all. Like we've said before, this shit is criminal. What is happening? This is unbelievable, and I don't know how much longer he can get away with calling himself the governor. And I won't resign. And at the mayor's conference in Washington last weekend, first Hillary Clinton had to tell his ass on Rachel to declare a state of emergency. That was a real state of emergency. And the president released $5 million to him the next day. And then when the mayor's conference came to town, he told the mayor of Flint he was releasing $80 million to them. And then the mayor, they shamed his ass last night on at the town hall, and he got up and the House and Senate there in Michigan decided to release several million of the surplus that they had on tap. But y'all, we have so much money and so many companies with money that they could go ahead and throw in 10 million each or whatever and help solve this problem. But I'm not satisfied. I wouldn't put in shit with him as governor.
Yeah.
Because this bastard is a bastard.
Jeb Bush made it a point to speak out on this Sunday on
Get Out
State of the Union on CNN.
Okay.
And he said he applauded Michigan Governor Rick Snyder's response to the water contamination crisis in Flint, even though the situation was caused by Snyder's own administration. I admire Rick Snyder for stepping up right now. He's going to the challenge. He's fired people and accepted responsibility to fix this.
Fire yourself.
Of course, his phrase comes this summer demanding Snyder's resignation.
Yes.
And,
fire yourself.
He says, what's with your praise for Snyder? But Bush held firm, and he's impressed with the way that he said, instead of saying the dog ate my homework, it's someone else's fault, it became clear he's taking the lead. That's exactly what I think leaders do.
And that's why his ass is at the bottom of the barrel right now, even with the Republican Party, because he won't say his name. He won't say his brother's name. But, white folks may be crazy, but they ain't crazy enough to forget. And they know this same motherfucker that we had leading us. Because if they get him, they get George back. And they know it.
This morning it was reported that Jeb is thinking about having George come out and campaign.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
It was that.
George Bush hasn't been to the Republican
Well, things
conventions
are
in
really
8
bad for Jeb. I mean, and I guess he figures that he needs all the help he can get.
But Jackie,
I don't know how
look,
helpful
when
it
you
is.
got a fire, when you on fire, Jackie, you don't call somebody to bring you more gasoline and lighters. I mean,
what's going to happen?
I don't believe. Look, if he does that,
Jackie and I were talking yesterday. I have to just have to interject this, right? When Jackie and I were talking yesterday, I was telling her about this book I'm reading about Rick Prostein's book on the transition from Nixon to Reagan, and in the Ford era, when Gerald Ford took over for Reagan for Nixon, right after Nixon was resigned after Watergate, they were looking for vice presidential people to be behind Ford, and they were looking at Barry Goldwater, and they were looking at George H.W. Bush, and the comment about George H.W. Bush to the committee was he was too stupid to become vice president.
That was just waiting for her to go, what?
Okay, Jackie, we were all silent now.
And probably George H.W. Bush was the best of the Bushes, so what does that tell you?
Yes.
Okay, because we all, listen, as Rachel can say, what has he spent now, $60 million? We expect this man to manage this company when he is throwing money into the fire and it's just burning. He can't get 10% support, and he is just throwing money into the fire. Rachel said he might as well set it on fire. Just set it on fire.
Well, but Brenda, look, that is what he knows. Because the thing that I love about Republicans and Republican thinking is that they are really slow on the uptake. Okay?
Jackie, dead bodies.
Wait, Jeb Bush thought that he could do what his brother did to win the presidency, which was to get all his Texas millionaire and billionaire friends together and to develop a huge war chest of money and then announce, I got all this money. And then everybody else is going to run away.
Okay.
Have enough, right. They don't have enough money to match that.
Yeah.
So they know they can't win and they go away.
Yeah.
They have not noticed that things have changed. Okay?
Yeah.
They have not noticed that things have changed dramatically since then.
Because the party looked at him and just went, oh, hell no.
and it's not just that. It's just that politics are different than they used to be.
Yeah, and Jackie, you just
they
can't.
Don't seem to get. They keep buying, like, for instance, the last election cycle when Karl Rove spent however many $100 million
400
running advertisements on television against Barack Obama. They do not understand that people don't watch television as much as they used to or in the way that they used to.
Thank
TV
you.
ads are not nearly as valuable.
And when you tell a lie, somebody is out there to investigate this lie. Just like our little boy, little Teddy Cruz. That's your horse, ain't it, Jackie?
Oh, I'm so proud of him.
Your boy, your horse. Your horse told a lie. Your horse sat and told a lie that he was one of the people affected by Obamacare, the worst thing since slavery, along with Ben Carson, and how it had destroyed this country. And you know who it affected? Me. Sat right there and tapped himself in the chest and said, it's me. I don't have health care. And I'm telling you, when you got to go home and tell your wife that you don't have health care, let me tell you, it wasn't easy. And they blew that lie right out of the water. And then he blamed it on his Blue Cross Blue Shield agent. He the one told the lie.
Well, and that's another thing I love about those guys. There is always somebody else to blame.
Oh, Jackie, look.
You know, and the thing about it is, if you aren't responsible for anything, if you won't take responsibility for anything, I don't want you at the head of my government.
Okay, Jackie, I said, boy, these boys will tell a these boys
sign up during the open period.
Yes.
They will tell a lie
That's all that amounts to.
They'll tell a lie for nothing, Jackie, when the truth is free. You are listening to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, coming to you live from the Jewel of the Delta, and that is Forest City, Arkansas, where it is 55 degrees and clear, but it's about 155 up in here. Joining me to talk about it and always helping to keep you informed is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, aka Miss Uppity Speaks. Joining Jackie and me to talk about it and help to keep you and me and Jackie too informed is the professor of the blues himself, Walter Duville, professor at the Université of Montreal, retired. And joining Jackie, Walt, and myself is KKFI-FM's funk master himself and the militant of the group, all the way from Kansas City, Missouri. How many times have you been timed out on Facebook? Thrice timed out on Facebook. Barry K. Jackson, y'all. Listen, you're listening to Let's Talk About It. We're going to take a short break. We are coming to you live from the #1 broadcasting network on the net, and that's Spreaker.com, baby. We'll be right back. I want you to listen to something, and you'll be a little bit more informed, okay? All right.
You're listening to Spreaker Web Radio.
I looked up and there he was. And then I said to myself, I've got to get to know him. And then I found myself thinking, wondering what I could do just to get near him. And then I followed intuition. I looked at him and I smiled inside, and with a silent intensity I let spirit guide. And then I wondered if he was the one sent here for me, to finesse me through life's maze delicately. And then I realized if it was to be.
Hey, the sun is shining, looking like another wonderful day. Look through my CD collection, trying to find some good music to play. While I'm getting ready to face the world, doing what I must do.
Hey y'all, it's the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and once again I have for you a very special invite. Beginning Sunday, February the 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, the Brenda White Shows proudly presents the Sensational Sunday Show with the Queen of Smooth, Dee Robinson, and the Professor of the Blues himself, Walt DeVille, as they team up to showcase unique, one-of-a-kind voices from all genres of music, from R&B to jazz to bluegrass to pop, neo-soul, blues to spoken word, and beyond. Join Walt and Dee every first Sunday of the month for the Sensational Sunday Show as they expand the boundaries of the group of Brenda White shows. Surprises and singular sounds are the hallmark of the Sensational Sunday Show, which is itself a very unique radio show. So join me every first Sunday of the month, beginning February the 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the Sensational Sunday Show. And we'll see you in the chat room right here at Spreaker.com. Oh, yes, indeed, y'all. Okay, so my birthday is Super Bowl Sunday, and the Sensational Sunday Show begins that night, too. February the 7th, all right? Y'all don't miss it. Walt and Dee, it's going to be awesome. That's all I got to say. And I'm proud to be representing them as they fly under the group of Brenda White shows. You know, they got the Brenda White flag flying for them. So we'll look forward to it. Oh, and don't let me forget to tell you, too, that tonight, you know, at 10 o'clock, it's Up All Night with Brenda White, as I bring to you the very best of jazz, R&B, smooth hip-hop, funk, and one last hour of baby making music. And then join us Saturday night, right back here at 11 o'clock for Soft and Warm. And let's get soft and warm together. I talk no politics. I try to get you into a sexual mood and help all of you gun-toting baby mother loving freedom country God and family. I try to get y'all into a better mood. Try to get a little of the anger out of you. Okay. All right. And then Monday night, I need you to join us right back here for nothing but, for Blues in the Night. Oh, yeah. Okay, don't forget Friday night. You know, Friday night is Nothing But the Blues with your girl, Brenda Pearl. And then at 10 o'clock. And then Saturday night at 11, we get Soft and Warm together. Monday night is Blues in the Night with Professor Walter DuBill. And then immediately following Walt at 11 p.m. Eastern Time is David Capers and Jazz for the Ages. And baby, he can just really bring it to you. But nobody knows the blues like the professor of the blues, Walt DeBill. So join us Monday night, 9 o'clock until 11 for Blues in the Night.
I could get a real music education.
Yes, you can, boy. Yes, you can. And as Daddy can say, it's going to be back to back, baby. All right, so we got 20 some minutes to go. And now, Jackie, as I posted on Facebook yesterday for all of my fans and lovers, and I'm telling you, I don't nobody be wanting to kill me. You know, it ain't all that. It's just my opinion about some shit, you know. The last time somebody threatened to kill me after this show, he called and said, I got a bucket and a rope with your name on it. And I'm looking down at the phone. This show you how dumb y'all are. Looking down at the phone and it's call ID. I said, okay, come on over, Dave. He hung up. I called the police immediately. They got there and they called him. And then while they were calling him, and he's stupid enough to answer the phone from my house, and I know caller, maybe the police blocked it, but I don't know. But they called him, and while he's on the phone trying to explain that it wasn't him, with the police looking at his name on my call ID, they showed up at his door. And then I released his phone number on Facebook. He didn't get no rest. Because it was over 400 calls went to his house. And my baby from Australia said she called him 4 times and woke him up. Just from Australia. So y'all don't mess with me. It ain't worth killing me over, you know. I got my opinion. Y'all got yours. And I'll let you have it because you're going to lose again. Dead bodies don't get up and walk. They don't. And your autopsy has failed. You didn't find out what the heck happened to you. So how you going to cure yourselves? And you know, what's the meaning of insanity, Jackie?
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
You're insane. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Come into the light. Come with us. We gonna help you. Yes. And we're ready to receive you. We don't hate y'all like y'all hate us. And Barack Obama is just a killer and a baby. Somebody wrote me on Facebook and said, do you won't feel that way when Barack Obama is drinking your children's blood? What?
Oh my God.
Look, now that was right there, Jackie. I done try to explain shit to him. Delete. Oh, yeah. Unfriend him. Drinking the blood of my children. It's all right, y'all. Okay, so having said that, we gonna give a tribute to y'all right now, as Jackie explained.
You've been wanting to talk about this for the whole show, so let's roll.
Yeah, as Jackie is about to explain, And as I told you earlier, as one of the Bundy boys shouted out, guns make us serious. And I did a post that said, and guns will get your balls shot off. Ask that dead one. Oh, no, you can't ask him, he dead. Jackie, tell us about the Bundy boys.
Okay, so on Tuesday evening, Eamon Bundy and 7 of his followers were arrested. And you guys are going to love how they got arrested. This is so good. It was a traffic stop, okay? And apparently Eamon and his boys thought, since they had been able to come and go as they pleased for nearly a month, that they could still come and go as they pleased. And of course, the FBI found out that they were going to another community to some sort of meeting. And I mean, going to a community along a desolate road where nobody is, and they set up a roadblock and they arrested them. Okay? Now, during the arrest, one of Mr. Bundy's group was killed by the FBI because he was I beg your pardon?
Lavoy Finicum?
Yes, Robert Lavoy Finicum. Yes. He was shot and killed because apparently he wasn't going without a fight. All right? And they shot and killed him, and they wounded someone else. I believe it was Bundy's brother Ryan, but I'm not positive. Okay? Now, so they arrested these guys, and the special agent in charge said, "Let me be clear, it is the actions and choices of the armed occupiers of the refuge that has led us to where we are today," meaning the guy who got killed. But of course, you know, in the militia movement, they're already calling this guy a martyr. Not that it helps him because he's dead, right? And and the special agent also warned that actions are not without consequence. So he said that anyone who was still at the refuge would be allowed to leave after being identified at law enforcement checkpoints that have been set up, because now they have surrounded the place, right? Now, what's really interesting about this is that Eamon Bundy, who is in custody right now, in a statement through his attorney, he asked the folks who were there to please leave. And the quote I'm going to read to you: "To those remaining at the refuge, I love you. Let us take this fight from here. Please stand down, go home, and hug your family." And, you know, what I take from that statement is this. You know, Eamon Bundy, you know, all these guys are pretend wannabes, and they got their big guns and this, that, and the other. But if you see someone killed in front of you, that might change your attitude.
I said, Jackie, shit just got real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly correct.
Yeah.
Because
they found out them wasn't rubber bullets that the FBI was shooting with.
Exactly correct.
This
and it's a whole different animal, you know, to play tough guy than to be tough guy. And the thing that always amazes me about these militia types, they're going to fight the government. They're going to fight the federal government.
Yeah.
Who has more arms than the federal government? No matter what you have, you can have, you know, bazookas and tanks and AR-15s and all that other stuff, but you will never be better armed than the United States government.
No, Jackie, you won't. And
so what do you think you're doing? All right,
Jackie, I meant to.
That statement, especially that end, "Go home and hug your family."
Yeah,
that says something to me, and maybe he understands now that when he goes to court, he's going to be put under the jail. Maybe he gets it now. But it took someone being killed for him to get it.
And Jackie, the one that they had the clip of, "Go get your guns, kill them." It's not working. Don't know about what Jackie just said. When you see them light in on your ass with some real bullets and shit, you ain't shooting watermelons no more.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, that has got to be, and I have to tell you guys, honestly, I'm sure that is traumatic. I'm sure, you know, I am sure that this stuff didn't go down. And the other thing that I find interesting about this is that Eamon Bundy himself, he was arrested without incident, even though he was armed, right?
Yeah, all that
now,
big talk.
About that.
When
I'm a badass and I got my big gun, but when they came to get his ass, he went quietly.
He was in shock.
Yeah,
he was in shock.
Hey.
You know, they didn't think after Waco and Ruby Ridge, these folks didn't, and down there, you know, up there where his daddy had that standoff with the Bureau of Land Management officers.
Yes.
You know, they figured since the BLM agents back down, you know, that they wouldn't have that same, you know, they would have that same kind of confrontation no matter where they were. Besides, they had been allowed to attend a couple of town hall meetings in that town, and you know, nobody messed with them. And so I guess he figured if it was going to be business as usual. The FBI said, hell no.
Yeah, well, the thing about it, too, is that, you know, the FBI, you know, the governor of Oregon said, look, get these bastards out. Nobody in the county wants them there. They've been incredibly disruptive. They, you know, they want these guys gone. And they said if the local folks told us to leave, we'll leave. Well, the local folks told them to leave, and they still didn't leave. The sheriff.
Not only that, they had also threatened a couple of the townspeople as well. Got into it with them in town, and turned around and found one of his phone number and was making threatening calls to him.
Oh my! Well, I did read a story that they were even following like the sheriff's parents around and stuff like that. But they were menacing. Yeah, they were menacing people. Yeah, in the
Jackie, when you a badass, you ain't got to threaten nobody. Just go be a badass.
Yeah. Well, there are also 3 more people were arrested on Wednesday after Eamon Bundy was taken into custody. Okay.
Yeah.
And the FBI said that. And the Oregon State Police said that Dwayne, it looks like Emer, Dylan Wade, and Jason Patrick they turned themselves in to agents at one of these checkpoints.
Said what?
And, you know, the other thing about these guys leaving after they have been identified at a checkpoint, you know, a lot of these guys have criminal records. Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
And some of them might even have warrants out against them now, because you remember the guy who was arrested in Arizona had a warrant out against him, right?
Right.
You know, so you can leave after you're identified at a checkpoint is no inducement to these guys, because they kind of figure they're going to get arrested anyway. Even though the FBI says, we're going to let you go after we identify you, right? So that's a canard too. The FBI, they don't intend to let those guys.
No, but they dumb enough to believe it.
Okay, but so anyway, a federal judge on Wednesday afternoon ordered for Eamon Bundy and his boys to stay in jail until at least Friday without bail. And I'm sure they're trying to figure out what to do. You know, I'm sure they're trying to figure out whether they should give these guys bail or just to keep them without bail.
Yeah, well, this happened in Colorado, and they tried to take over that little town and walking around with their guns on and all badass and shit. You're not going to humiliate and embarrass the federal government and make them look like a bunch of punks.
Well, the thing about it is that I think that the federal government realizes that they made a mistake with the Clive and Bundy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, they realize that they made a mistake with the Clive and Bundy thing, because if they go and take over this you know, desolate sort of place, you know, out in the wilderness, what happens when they decide to take over a courthouse or a city hall? You know,
that thing that happened with Clive and Bundy had even more far. If you remember, that had more far-reaching effects anyway, because that couple that shot those 2 police officers in Las Vegas were part of that standoff. In fact, the fella, the man that was involved, it was a man and a woman. The man had posted up as a sniper during that standoff, and they identified him. Yeah, you know. You back down. You back down from these wild folks, and then they turn around and go shoot and kill other people.
Yeah, and they think,
you know, that was a lesson that the federal government learned.
Yeah, that you cannot let these guys go. And then on top of that, you know, public sentiment is firmly against these occupiers, right? firmly against these, because I mean, most of us out here in the rest of the world, we know that if these guys are not kept in check, the next thing you know, they'll be in your community with their long guns.
That's right. Deciding to take over whatever area they want to take over, and we all supposed to sit down and shut up. It doesn't work that way.
And besides, all of the public humiliation they have taken in the news and online because they didn't go there prepared, and was begging people to send them food. They got sent bags of dildos. I mean, these people are going to be,
Hey, and somebody wrote on Facebook. One of my beautiful white friends wrote, "Ruby Ridge their ass and get it over with."
I'm sorry, Brenda, I didn't understand.
Somebody wrote, "Ruby Ridge their asses and get it over with."
Oh, yeah. Well, that is one of the things that, I read in some of the comments with some of these stories that one person was saying, Waco and Ruby Ridge, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And then somebody wrote back and said Timothy McVeigh gave a shit. That's where, that was his rationale for killing 168 people and wounding 700 others at the Oklahoma City Federal Building.
Right, and
see, my response would have been, okay, are you willing to take that needle like Timothy McVeigh had to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
exactly. So
and you proved nothing.
This is uncalled for, and I tell you what, it's just like I said. I believe that Eamon Bundy, because one of his group lost their life, has really been a wake up call for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but he's still stupid simply because if you want to holler about Waco, then okay, fine. You're willing to risk that? I mean, it's easier said than done.
Yes.
When you holler Waco, yeah, right. And you had several people that basically got barbecued inside that building.
Yes, that's right. And also, wasn't there something about an officer went to serve a warrant or something on them, and they killed this officer?
Right.
And that's
they killed.
Yeah, at Waco.
They killed several.
Yeah,
they killed several officers.
Yeah, and so that's how this all came about. And I mean, these people talk about how much they love law enforcement, but groups like this put law enforcement officers in danger.
They don't love law enforcement. Like Trump, they don't love the military. My son Dennis Winston wrote on Facebook, since y'all love to go shoot your little machine guns, tell you what you do. You volunteer and take your ass over there and fight ISIS.
Yeah.
This is not.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, I
remember that post well.
Dennis made me laugh until I cried last night. I told my son, you need to get a job or another job. I know you got a job, but you need another job, because he made me laugh because his point was so well taken. And y'all, as we get ready to end the show, just let me take a moment and just read to y'all Dennis's comments. My son, thank God, he is so. Dennis made me laugh. Oh my goodness, how did I get? Sorry, y'all. I somehow got the Dat Burn. I got some Dat Burn thing turned on here. You can't open these freaking sites. I was trying to look at my chat room from my laptop, and hell, it turned the show on, which is delayed. Okay, sorry about that. But I'm so glad that my son is so involved in listening and learning and checking out and politically involved. Y'all see how important it is that you have got to go vote. These are the kinds of things that we got to protect ourselves from. And when these people support Donald Trump and he says it's okay, it's not okay, y'all. And the only way to fight this kind of shit is to make sure that these people don't get into power. Donald Trump has been retweeting shit from white supremacist groups. And he thinks it's okay. And I asked one of my conservative friends if he said that he supported the KKK or kill niggas, would you still support him? And he said, well, no. Well, it sounds like you would, because if he's retweeting from a white supremacist, and when they came out in support of him and gave him their blessing, and he said he thought they were great. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure, I accept it. But this is what my son wrote. He said, the Oregon militant, I would suggest y'all make a deal with the feds. Tell them in exchange for not wiping you off the face of the planet, you'll go over and fight ISIS. I mean, y'all itching for a fight and want so bad to shoot those little machine guns you have at someone. Shoot them at ISIS and show the world the badasses, so-called patriots y'all really are. Yeah, that won't happen. No, it won't happen. Because if they had to go fight ISIS, they'd shit on themselves. They wouldn't go.
Well, one of the things that Mr. Bundy realizes now is that this shit is not a video game.
Right.
And it's just like you said, it's very different to see a human being killed in front of you as opposed to seeing a watermelon be blown up because you shot it.
Yeah, it's
well, not only that, they recognize that if they have to have if they're subject to an encounter, a confrontation with law enforcement, they are not going to be outmanned and outgunned.
Right.
They're going to make sure they've got you from every angle. Who's to say that they didn't have some drones flying around them that were armed?
Listen,
I don't mean the army style drones. I mean the smaller ones.
Yeah.
You can attach a semi-automatic pistol on. You know.
Yeah. Well, but the other thing about that too is that now the handful of people who are still left at the refuge are, scared. They're on the internet talking about the feds are going to come and murder us.
Yeah, get your arms, brothers, and kill them.
If you put your arms down and come out, you don't have to worry about being, quote, murdered.
Right.
Because if they roll in there and you draw down on them, they have the right to shoot you.
And we thank
Not
God
only that,
for it.
I also think that we can thank right-wing media for stirring this up even further.
Oh yeah.
Because there have been elected officials on the state and federal level who have given these people support, as well as false news.
Oh yeah.
So when you've got people doing that, then you think you're invincible.
Barry,
exactly.
Nobody understands
until the shit gets real.
Yeah, that's true.
Jackie, Barry, nobody understands who false news is.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. If anybody, in fact, your listeners, a lot of your listeners know who I am. They know exactly who false news is.
That's my first time hearing that, as Jackie's first time of hearing Governor Leadhead. But that's okay.
Yeah,
these things come to us. Now, y'all, we're going to go over just a couple of minutes because we promised that we would talk about Stacey Dash.
Oh, well, Brenda, I know that we're running out of time and we don't need a couple of minutes. I can wrap that Stacey Dash stuff in
Please do, Jackie.
Briefly. You ready?
Yes.
Stacey Dash stupid. Okay. Okay.
Barry, could you elaborate? Could you tell us who Stacey Dash is and why everybody's hating her? Because I really don't know.
I got it. I got what Gabrielle Union said. Who is Stacey Dash?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And then I asked, is that the bitch that sit on Fox News' couch? I don't know who she is. But where she got to, it was because of all those black networks and magazines that helped her ass.
And movies.
Yeah, well, Stacey Dash did this one movie, Clueless, with, what's her name? I don't know, Apple something. Anyway, that's what she is known for, this one movie that she did way back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And so since then, it's not like she's been able to get a lot of work, and so she worked a lot on BET shows.
Okay.
All right.
And now she go bad mouth.
The BET Awards is bad. Okay, whatever, sweetie.
And the latest thing I saw, a news report today, her telling how BET lies to everybody. So why did you work with them?
Yeah.
Because Jackie, if I know
that's
you,
the reason. that the reason why they've been running a lot of the stuff that she was on?
Yeah. You know, if I know you to be a liar and a thief, I'm not hanging around with you. And that settles it. And so, but you took their checks and shit.
You know, Stacey Dash is probably so happy. This is the most publicity she's gotten in, 15 years.
Okay.
Well, I keep in mind also the movie she did with Damon Wayans and the other Wayans brother, Mo Money. You know, she's definitely I think that she wasn't acting in that. You know, she played a pretty little girl who was sleeping with her boss, pretty little hood rat who was sleeping with her boss, which pretty much speaks to what her career is about now.
Well, it's like I told you guys earlier in the show. Her cousin says that she's cooning for Fox News, and I absolutely agree with that.
Well, damn, Barry, you hit up below the feet. I mean, shit, you can't fall off the floor. How much lower can you hit a bear?
Well, I think somebody also said that someone's talking about making a trade. You know, we're going to trade her, Alan West, Clarence Thomas, Ben Carson, Herman Cain.
Yeah, we want Rachel
Thomas Sowell.
Yeah, we want Rachel Dozier back because at least she want to be black.
yeah, we're gonna trade her for Rachel Dolezal. So
yeah, we want her back.
That's a good trade. That's a good trade.
Well, y'all.
Well,
okay.
No, I can think a few more. I think a few more people we could give to. Fox News, and the white power structure. So
well, before we go,
there's several.
Before we go, I didn't even know who she was. I saw her one morning on Fox News, and I believe she was saying something to the effect of how Barack Obama had no class, and I said, "Who is that bitch?" Well, no, I think I said, "Who is that bitch?"
When they mentioned Stacey Dash, I was thinking about I thought they were talking about the seasoning, Mrs. Dash. So.
It is time for this show to come to an end because y'all fixing to get just absolutely crazy. And Jackie, I'm with Dave Capers tonight. You are on the roll. Here, I thought Jackie was going to read a statement from and all this shit. I could wrap this up in a couple of minutes. Now, she wrapped it up in 2 seconds. Stacey Dash, she's stupid. Y'all are just beside yourselves.
So why drag it out, right?
Let me thank the chat room, David Capers of the Razor Blade Express, right here at Spreaker.com, and Carolyn Pendleton Gardner, aka CPG, and I just call her C. Also a Spreaker family member, and the host of Jams and More Jams 5 days a week right here at Spreaker.com. Y'all just go over to Jams and More Jams on Facebook, like the page, and let C know what you want to hear. And honey, she'll play it for you. She got her daddy's records, her grandmama's records. She got it all. And she can really rock you, okay? So, and thanks to Kids Talk Show, we love you too, kids. She said I don't know if it's he or she, but they said we love you and Jackie, Brenda. And they also wrote that they were Muslim. We welcome all. Listen, if the Muslims wanted to do something to us, it's 7 million of them here in the country. They could cause a little shit. But that is no reason to hate all Muslims because one did some shit. And they didn't do any more than Timothy McVeigh. And they didn't do any more. The few that, Barack done killed about 2,000 of them now. But you can't put that on a whole race of people. Who was the man that had the 11 bodies? Was it in Ohio? The black man? Niggas was shocked. That's a nigga did that? He was a serial killer. Because we know white men to be the serial killers and the rapists. And I saw a woman on Facebook, a young woman, blonde woman, cocking her gun and saying, "This is what you're going to get when the Muslims come for me. This is what you're going to hear when you come to rape my children." Please, people, please come into the light.
Yeah, it's like,
you don't need
want the children. What makes you think somebody else does? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't need to have. You ain't got to go nowhere to ISIS or be worried about them coming to rape your children. Look right there in your house.
Yeah.
Look, she's either going to be wearing a black burqa or she'll be wearing a white hood. So it don't matter.
Just look around right there in your house, low information voters. That's where you can find your rapist and shit, you know?
Yeah.
So, we've got to have some diplomacy at all times. And this is what worries me about Donald Trump. I'm going to blow the hell out of him. You will get nothing out of that. But you do something to me, I'm going to do something to you back.
Yeah.
Barack Obama really does try to keep us safe. And I'm telling you, y'all go to the polls and vote. Who's Trump's horse?
Yeah.
Whose horse is that?
And also be well aware that all of this tough talk these chicken hawks in the GOP are using. You rest assured, every single world leader sees that stuff, on the internet and on television.
That's right.
They're sitting there saying, yeah, try it here, okay?
And I already decided they're not going to work with this son of a bitch.
They're saying it. They're saying it. The Ayatollah is saying it, and everybody, every other world leader is like, y'all elect Trump, if y'all elect Cruz, if y'all elect any of those other folks on that comedy clown bus.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to.
We've already got our agenda set.
And Walt, I'm so sorry. I hope you didn't go to sleep. But Walt, I want to tell you that look at your horse. Your horse came out of retirement and he went to Iowa to support. And what did he do? What's the word they call?
Well, he went to motorcycle ride, and then after that, he left.
He rode into Iowa to give his support and his endorsement. That's what I'm trying to say. Give his endorsement to Ted Cruz. And I thought, what the hell good is that going to do? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, by the way, your boy Donald Trump got the endorsement of Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio, and they turned around and said that he was going to be his vice presidential running mate. I said, well, you have to get the nomination first.
Barry, you don't have to make up lies to get on this show. You do not have to make up lies to be on this show. What are you talking about?
Look.
He announced to me.
You always think that Barry and I are telling you stories. We're not telling her stories, are we, Barry?
Barry, where do you get this shit? Joe Arpaio to be his running mate?
Yesterday, he said that Trump said that he wanted Sheriff Joe Arpaio to be his vice presidential running mate. In other words, he's trying to guarantee that he will not get the Latino vote.
Oh, yes.
Well, he's trying to guarantee that he loses. Rachel Maddow does theory about this.
Well, we are pleased.
About how Donald Trump really does not work. He doesn't really have to work. And being president is work. And she doesn't think that Trump wants to work that hard.
And he hasn't told us one thing that he will do. He's told us his hair is great. He's told us he's rich. And I said, and you really, this is all they need. And let me say that, and oh, she's great. Yeah, he's great. Isn't he? Oh, yeah. Get him out of here. He hasn't told you anything. And they cheer. And
he said he knows more about the military than the generals.
He said, I got a plan. It's going to be great. You'll see. No.
Yeah, so if it's so great, why must it be secret?
No. Yeah. Motherfucker, we want to know right now what your plan is. But this is acceptable to them. All he has to say is he's going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it, and that's enough for them. But this ensures
you also have to understand. You have to understand the base that the base of support that he's speaking to. If he tried to explain anything to them, you would see big question marks all throughout that crowd. They'd be all over their heads.
Okay.
These people don't have the sense God gave a straight man. He tells it like it is. You don't even know what he's saying.
Yeah, I was about to say, tell what? He ain't told you anything. Except the biggest lie ever. Nobody's going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it. And it doesn't work that way on Capitol Hill. You've got to cut deals and be willing to work with folks. And who's going to work? Look, they're not going to work with him anymore.
Anyway, he would go out of his way to try, would attempt something like that. You know, the feds would, they're extraditing El Chapo over to the United States. But you can rest assured, he tried something like that, I'll bet the FBI would rebel against him and release El Chapo.
Look, have an accidental shooting again. They can have that kind of stuff. Okay,
Hey,
so y'all,
yeah.
listen. We will be back. I won't even say next Wednesday night. I don't know my schedule yet, but if not next
Why
Wednesday,
can't we do it this time next week, Brenda?
all right. Well, then, because I may be at work this time next week, but I promise you, y'all will have let me just take a quick peek at my schedule. But y'all just keep watching my page and the Let's Talk About It page, because I like this afternoon thing too as well. And until we get a little bit straightened out to know what's what, it could possibly come to you next week on next Wednesday afternoon. I can't do it until 5 though. But next Thursday, no, I can't do it then. So we may be doing it next Monday or something. But we'll.
You need to help Brenda. I'll do what if you want me to go ahead and just hold Massa hostage so you can get away from the plantation.
I can do it next Wednesday night.
You'll be free.
Next Wednesday night, I can do it at about 5 o'clock Eastern time if y'all would like. But that's the best I can do.
Yeah, that won't work for me.
Okay, so that's what I thought. So next Wednesday night, we'll be back here at 10. Okay, so it's going to either be Wednesday nights or it'll be in the afternoons on Thursday. But we got to, I got to make this money. So, but we're going to keep trying to bring you the show. All right, no matter what.
Right.
We can pull a podcast. We can always do Monday afternoon when all else fails. Okay. All right, y'all. So you have been listening to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and joining me to talk about it and always helping to keep you informed is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, aka Miss Uppity Speaks. And, of course, always helping me and Jackie to keep you informed, it is Professor Walter Dubille of the Université of Montreal and KKFI-FM's very own Funkmeister, Barry K. Jackson. Barry, tell the people real fast what time you're on.
I'm on Tuesday mornings from 10 a.m. to noon, and you can stream my show on the web at kkfi.org.
Okay, so we got it. All right, y'all. I love you. I'll see you back here tonight at 10 o'clock for Up All Night with Brenda White. Okay? All right. Thanks for joining us, y'all. We had a ball. Sarah Palin, shout out to you, boo. Okay, I had to go and find Walt in Montreal. Hey, Walt.
No.
You've been so quiet. Tell the people bye, baby.
All right, so good. Well, I hope everybody enjoys the next Republican debate.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Put out Donald Trump. Since he spent the entire time talking about Donald Trump, which is what he wanted all the time.
Yeah, right? Since Walt started that off really good.
The thing about it, he's talking about raising money for some veterans, and so far, CNN
Barry, the show is over.
He's raising money for.
Barry, the show is over. It's time for you to say goodnight. But before you do that, I like the way Walt started that off. He said that he wishes everybody watches the Republican debate tonight. Jackie, what do you wish for?
I wish for rain.
I hear you.
And Barry, what do you wish for? You ain't got time for no speech.
Hey, I'm fine with the way things are.
Okay, y'all. We love you. We'll see you next week right here. And Let's Talk About It at the #1 broadcasting network on the net. And that's Spreaker.com. Good night, y'all.
Because truth crusted will rise again. How long? Not long. Because no lie can live forever. Yes, sir. How long? Not long. Because you shall reap what you sow. Yes, sir. How long? Not long. How long? Truth forever on the scaffold, long forever on the throne. Yes, that scaffold sways the future. Behind the dim unknown standeth God within the shadow, keeping watch above his own. How long? Not long. Because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. How long? Not long. Because mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He's trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He's loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call retreat. He is sifting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. Our God is marching on. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah.
Don't let nobody tell you. I know. We're breathing same. We all got something to share. We no matter where we go, no matter what we do, you're a part of me.
You're listening to Spreaker Web Radio.